What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. If you guys are new here, please consider hitting that like button and subscribing if you guys enjoyed the videos. Also, make sure to join the Discord link down below in the description. So, in today's videos, we're going to be talking about how War Thunder may change for the better or possibly for the worse if they go ahead and follow through with what they've shown. So, they have talked about adding infantry into War Thunder, and I see a lot of good and bad with what they've said so far. Honestly, I think I'm personally for it. I really want them to add this. I think it's going to be a lot of fun, but I think they have to implement it properly. As of right now, games like Enlisted, which is also made by Gaijin, and which is the game I'm playing, they only showcase to about late World War II, and it doesn't really get modern. War Thunder, a majority of the aircraft, tanks, and helicopters we have in the game are fairly modern aircraft. And if they were going to add infantry, I would say they would have to go to at least late Cold War era for it to actually be worth adding. And that is when we're going to have to start talking about how is it going to ruin other game modes. Because in modern infantry, there's a lot of systems that make it really hard to play things like tanks and helicopters, because missiles like the Stinger, the Igla, missiles like the Javelin, these are all systems that make it really hard to play some certain vehicles. And if Gaijin were to just throw infantry into like ground RB, I think it'd make it really hard to play tanks. Now, obviously, straight up infantry isn't going to do anything against an Abrams, but a specialized infantry with an ATGM that an Abrams will never see, that might cause issues for it, especially in a helicopter. If there's something, a guy you can't see shoots a SAM at you or a manpad. Now, I do think Gaijin should make separate game modes for infantry, obviously, and I think they should include tanks and aircraft and helicopters. Don't get me wrong, I think that'll be a great addition. Could be something maybe along the lines of how Ground Sim is ran, where it cycles. I also think that they should add infantry to have their own, tree in each nation. A tab for infantry, and maybe even drones and stuff that you can modify and research parts and research weapons for your certain era of crews. Maybe like rank 1 is World War I era, rank 1. Rank 2 being maybe World War II, rank 3 being Korea, late World War II, rank 4 being, late Korea, early Vietnam, stuff like that, because there's a lot of different, a lot of other nations use a lot of different weapons and a lot of different upgrades throughout, the years of service that they have. And I think they should add this. Don't get me wrong, I really think they should. I just hope that they can add it in a way that it doesn't implement War Thunder as a whole and ruin the game. I do think that the addition, the reason for adding infantry may be because of the uprising of a couple other games, including Yarn Hub's new game that's supposed to come out in a year or two. I do think Gaijin feels pressure, as they know that they've already pissed off a large amount of the player base. So they don't want players to leave War Thunder to go play another game, especially if this other game comes out to be better than War Thunder. So I think they are trying to add infantry as a way to maybe, hang that off. Obviously, the announcement for infantry came only a few weeks after Yarn Hub announced their new game. And I could be completely wrong. This could be something Gaijin's planned for a while. I know people have asked for it for a while. I think Enlisted is either being used, that was used as a game to test this, maybe not, but that's my personal opinion. Obviously, I don't know the answer for how badly infantry will affect War Thunder, because, like I said, the only testing we've seen, or only testing we can take, is Enlisted, and that is World War II era. It doesn't go into modern, and really, it just is going to come down to like how Gaijin wants to implement and what weapons they want to implement, because they could very well implement top-tier infantry into ground RB. I remember when we had the mechs back a few years ago, it was very hard to play a tank against those mechs. Those mechs were very hard to shoot, and if you were on the Russians, you were, the mechs that had the 30mm gun could one-tap the BMPs and the BMDs and all that. And then, obviously, the missiles made it really hard to play things like the Abrams or T-80 that they had. Now, don't get me wrong, it definitely could be a hinder. A well-played tank can definitely take out infantry. Do not get me wrong. I'm just saying that when we get these, modern systems, it's very hard for tanks to counter infantry. And if they add this game mode, it gives Gaijin an option to add a lot of vehicles we might not see otherwise. That includes armored personnel carriers like the M113 that we don't really have in game for the Americans in its proper use. It gives things like the BMP, the BMD. We can get more BTR versions. We can see a big use for armored personnel carriers, things like the Bradley. We can see transport helicopters, like more versions of the Black Hawk, or the CH-47, or the CH-53, which is my favorite helicopter in the game. And we could even possibly see things like the AC-130 now, because this would be a game mode well-suited and perfect for it, in my opinion. Anyways, let me know your guys' thoughts down below in the comments. Do you guys think Gaijin should implement this? Do you guys think this is something that you guys want to see in the game? Do you think Gaijin should leave it as is and not add infantry? Personally, I hope they do add infantry. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to playing it. I'm looking forward to seeing how they add it. I'm looking forward to see how the game grows and what we can see out of it. I think it is a step in the right direction. That's just my opinion, though. I want to know what your guys' opinion are, and make sure to let me know down below in the comments. Make sure to hit the like button and subscribe if you guys enjoyed the video. Of course, if you guys disliked the video, leave a dislike, but let me know down below in the comments what I can do to improve. And I hope to see you guys in a later video.